Today, we talk about retirement. Welcome. You're just joining? Welcome. So, you have seen the videos before on retirement concerns. You've seen what retirement looks like. And of course, I spoke to some retirees. Yes, this is a place where you can find value in terms of the financial topics that would concern you. What I'd love for you to do is to write a comment to say what are some of the topics that you'd like to be discussed. What are some of the concerns? Of course, every third Monday, I will have a live session right here just to talk to you about different things, different concerns that you might have. But on a day like this, as requested, or on a Saturday evening at 5, we will deal with other topics. All right, so on June 21st, we'll be talking to retirees and just to mention some of the experiences that they've had and for us to be able to avoid some mistakes in our retirement planning. So, who better to talk to than persons who are in their retirement? There's so much that we can learn from them. But today we're going to be looking at just a concept of the three-legged stool of retirement income. It means that we are going to talk about three possible sources from which you can get your retirement income. These are your earning years, these are your years of investing and working hard, and you're looking forward to the day when you retire. I'm sure some of you have gone into work and you might be counting down, especially if you are 5 years away from retirement or 10 years away from retirement. You're counting down. I know I've heard it from teachers who said, "Oh, the system is so different. It's so much harder now. I can't wait to retire." I said, "Well, I hope you can do another 10 years and give in an extra five." And it's like they would say, "No, I cannot do more than the 5 years that I have ahead of me. I'm counting down." Now, as you count down the time to retirement, I'd like you to examine the income sources for retirement. Okay, I'd like you, before we go into that, to share this video with someone and help them to understand the concept of the three-legged stool, the retirement income sources, so that they can check on what they are doing to ensure that they have the right amount planning for retirement. Okay? Right. So, you know, you can picture a three-legged stool. One leg in this analogy is security, social security, um, national insurance as we have it in Jamaica, the NIS scheme. So that is from the government. All right, so that leg of the stool is the government income source of retirement, and that is the NIS. How much is that for the month? What I know is that it's a small contribution to what you will need at retirement, a very small contribution. And so that is why I would like us not to depend just on that source because it will not be enough. So I like to leave a task, a homework. In that area, I'd like you to find out What is the amount that you can possibly get as a maximum payout at retirement if you paid the maximum contribution into the scheme? Based on your own experience and the number of years when you started to contribute to the NIS fund, how much are you likely to get at retirement? Definitely, it will be a small contribution, lower than minimum wage, that you will get for an income. Nevertheless, nothing beats income. When you know that you're getting some funds at a set date, you can actually plan. But why not have a bigger amount to plan on, right? So examine where else can you possibly get an income for retirement. The next we need to look at is the company sponsored pension plan. Do you have one? It's a defined contribution, defined benefit contribution. Yes. You are allowed 20% towards your contribution on a monthly basis for retirement. And if it's an individual retirement plan, then you can contribute your 20%, um, and it's pre-tax dollars on a monthly basis, right? And a company scheme now, the employer would pay 5% for you, and you match that. You pay 5% and the employer matches the 5%. So that is the 10%. However, you can go to a maximum of 20. So it's an additional 10% that you will be allowed to withdraw from your salary. And of course, that is from pre-tax dollars. So you will be paying your tax, your income tax, after the pension amount is taken. All right? So you're going to be saving up and it's tax free. Well, pension, of course, is tax deferred because the tax will be taken while you're getting an income at retirement. But at this time, you're allowed the benefit of just having uh, the money is withdrawn before tax is calculated on your pay. So you then pay less taxes. Isn't that good news for you? Certainly, I'm sure. All right, so that's two legs. The government sponsored scheme, one, company sponsored scheme, and the third leg is your personal savings. Already, I know you're picturing the stool. The stool is broken down, right? Broken down because you never had any amount going towards savings for retirement. No saving is there for retirement in terms of your personal savings. So, yes, you might regret that you haven't started years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but it's no use crying over spilled milk. What's the next best time to do anything? The next best time is today. So yesterday was a perfect time, but the next best time to do it is today. So start your savings today. Start saving for retirement today so that you can have an income in those golden years. So what does your stool look like? Is it broken? Is it on one leg? Is it on two legs? Or is it on three legs? If it's on three legs, are they standing firm? Do you have enough in personal savings? Are you putting away enough? If it's on three legs, what about the company sponsored scheme? Have you maxed and put the 20% that you're allowed in terms of topping up? and putting in the maximum, or is it just the 5%? Make sure that you are maximizing what you can contribute for your retirement. So what you're actually doing is paying forward into the future so that you can have a good standard of living then. And I ask you this, what are some of the plans that you have for retirement? Yes? Think about it. If you haven't thought about it yet, what is it that you'd like to do? Some want to travel. And where do you want to travel? Is it USA or is it Dubai? Are you going Holy Land? Where will you be going? Where will you be going during retirement? So you must think about that. Think about accommodation. Will you be living in the same house or will you be selling, moving to a smaller house? What will you be doing? There are other concerns, and so that's why we want to make sure that the three legs of the stool is strong because it is out of this source of income that you will be able to do all that you need to do in that time. Think about cost of healthcare. Normally in that time, health cost increases and the persons are more sickly, the health fails, and so you will need to have monies. You will need to have monies to take care of yourself. You need a good health plan, but outside of a good health plan, you'll need to be able to pay for health services, right? And so you have to ensure that during this accumulation phase, that you put aside enough so that in the distribution phase of your life, when you're going to be needing income, that you have that. All right. So check the legs of your stool. Three legs it is. How is your personal saving? Is there a company sponsored scheme? Then, if there's none, it means you have just two legs on that stool, the personal savings leg and the government scheme, which is the NIS. No, that's not going to be a strong foundation. And so, what you have to think about is maybe an investment property so that you can purchase another property now so that maybe you can liquidate it at retirement and convert it into something called an annuity. An annuity is that which you can purchase immediately, immediate annuity, with a lump sum so that the insurance company, like Sagicor, would pay you on a monthly basis so that you can actually create an income for yourself. So you invest now, maybe in a property, and then liquidate so that you can have the funds. All right. So I hope that you learned something. You can write a comment to say, yes, I am going to be checking on the legs of my stool. If you're on contract, you will need to pay attention and start an investment plan today. You have to start an individual retirement scheme today. If you are, say, working on contract or self employed, there's an individual retirement plan. So you really have to get going, get cracking on something. All right? Because we want to ensure a good standard of living later on. You want to ensure that the standard of living in your golden years is good. Don't forget. And a very terrible enemy during those times is called inflation. Inflation, my friends, eats away at the earning powers of the spending powers of your monies. Each time you go to the supermarket with that same monies, you will be buying less. Remember, an income at retirement is fixed. Your pension is going to be the same over the years. So, for example, if your company sponsored scheme, when everything is worked out and you start getting your monthly payment, if it's 50,000 of it or if it's 70,000, it's going to be 70,000 for a time, for some time. And what is going to be happening to food prices? It's going to be going up. And therefore, as inflation eats away at the purchasing power of your monies, you're going to have to ensure that you put away more now so that you can combat inflation. And that is where the second leg of the stool comes in, where you can get more flexibility there in maximizing returns on making sure that you diversify what you save into different assets so you can get the most return at maximum return. All right. So you have to make do the consideration. One, um, the government sponsored scheme, the NIS, you have the company sponsored scheme and your personal savings. Think about it. What do you have? What will you do? What do you need to do? You need to sit down and examine what you have and take action today because only you can really take action and take responsibility for where you want to be in the future. So, as I said, I'd love to get a feedback from you as to the next topic you want to hear about. And so we can have this talk on a Saturday evening at 5. And remember, every third Monday at 7:30, we will go live. You've had some good presentations and I'd like you to check out the one on the cost of that treating a critical illness diagnosis. That's one that was streamed and it is available to you on this channel. So thank you for watching. Thanks for coming on. And I'd love you to have a wonderful evening. Do share this video with someone so that they can check themselves to see whether they or not they have in place three sturdy legs of retirement income guaranteed. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.